Welcome back, everybody. We are Beyond Movies. I am Callum. That is Kyle. We are the two most handsome devils on the internet, and we've got some interesting stuff for you today. Nice.
Andor season 2 of Andor is out. They dropped 3 episodes on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched it, go watch it because we're about to talk about it in all the spoilery goodness. Not that there is too much to spoil, I don't think. Um, I've got a question for you, Colin. Where does it stand in the sense of the season 1 and how that kicked off compared to this season? Does it feel
Oh,
like it's better? Does it feel like it improved on things? Because for me, it definitely does. And it's clear that there is a faster pace to it, but it's definitely still that slower burn, which is still very exciting. And also, I might just add, just from these 3 episodes alone, it feels very real. It feels very realistic and gritty, more so than shows that are set in the real world, if that makes sense. So yeah, but how's it compare for the start of the
so
season?
yeah. Look, I think it was a bit faster paced than the first season's first 3 episodes. If I'm remembering correctly, um, I'm pretty sure he don't get off the planet until like the last episode of the first season. So yeah, it was nice that it was still like one contained story in this first chapter, so they're calling it for these 3 episode chunks that they're doing. Which, by the way, love that release schedule. I think that's the best of both worlds. Um, but yeah, I'm with you, mate. It feels a whole lot more mature. I almost want to compare it to, like I say, we say this is a HBO quality show. I feel like these first 3 episodes felt very Thrones, and after watching all 3 of them, I got to the end. I was like, "Oh my god!" I've watched 3 episodes, and I didn't even realize I had. And there were decent episode lengths as well. So I was just going through it like, "Woo, this is fun. This is fun. Keep watching, keep watching." And then by the time I got to the end, I was like, "I've watched 3 episodes of good quality Star Wars."
I don't know what it is about Andor specifically. Obviously, it does break. It's nothing like any other Disney Plus show. You do have other shows that do the annoying tropes that we all know and hate. The keep the villain a secret and all this bullshit. Andor doesn't do that. Andor's like it's a plan. This is something that the writers, the directors, they've heavily thought about this. This is how it's going to go because we're only getting 2 seasons. Call it a limited series if you will. This is more
Yeah,
just instead of season 2 of the show, it's more like part 2 of the show, if that makes sense. The story as a whole.
yeah.
Because after this, we're not going to get anything. After this, you're going to have to go watch Rogue One to follow Andor more. But that's not, again, that's not really a spoiler. But yeah, I'm glad that this got made, Callum, because this you don't get this too often, especially with Disney
No,
Plus. This is how Disney Plus should have been from the get go, and I'm glad that Andor is like a prime example of it, and I'm glad it has a season 2, and you can clearly tell Disney gave it a budget, despite it not having the probably like the lowest viewing ratings on Disney Plus in terms of the
yeah,
first
it
season.
didn't do too crazy. Now,
Yeah,
look, probably one of my favorite scenes in these episodes. I'm pretty sure it's in the first, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I don't think he shows up again for the other 2 episodes, but is Krennic when he's doing the meeting in that room, and then they're just on about just yeah, we're gonna mine this planet for its resources. It might collapse in on itself, but we need the energy. So they're just like a boardroom meeting for just you know yeah, we're gonna kill some people, but we need this stuff, and it's like that's so reflective of the real world as well. And while I was watching that scene, I was like, it's crazy that Ben Mendelsohn signed on to do this. I can't believe he signed on to do this. But then I remembered, hang on, Ben Mendelsohn has done a Disney Plus series before. It's just I completely forgot. Secret Invasion.
see, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thank fuck. Sorry for bringing that up.
One thing I
But
want to note as well, Colin, is I know we spoke about this the last time we spoke about Andor, about its positive reactions and things like that. The chance of, would you rather have the Emperor or Vader show up? And in this, in this case,
Yeah,
I very much would like the Emperor to show up. And I know you said before,
I've been
I
proved wrong
think,
as well
yeah,
with
I
this
think
first episode.
you said something along the lines of not likely because Vader. It's more likely to be Vader if anyone, because
Yeah,
Krennic speaks to Vader. Vader sort of like passes it on to the Emperor.
the Emperor, but it seems like he's got a direct line with the Emperor right
Yeah,
now. So maybe he falls out of favor with him or something like that towards the end of the show, and that's why the news is going through Vader. Or it's maybe because they literally just wanted Vader in Rogue One, and I don't blame them. Um, Kyle, a question I've got for you. Look, we're in the first 3 episodes now. This is going to be on for the next 4 weeks, doing 3 episodes a week, which is fantastic. Yeah, I love that release schedule. Do you see this having a satisfying ending? Or do you see the satisfying ending being, well, we know where it goes from Rogue One?
I think
Do you,
both.
yeah,
It's
because
not
it's like,
disappointed me thus far,
no,
even
me
with
neither.
season one and these 3 episodes. I definitely think it will be on my must watch if I'm going to do like the Star Wars trilogy, if you will. It's definitely going to be there. As for the ending of it, I think it's going to be a bittersweet ending potentially, somewhat
Yeah,
along the lines of Rogue One, where it's like we've managed to get the plans for the Death Star, and we've managed, there's a hope there now that we can, take on the Empire, but we've lost all our main guys, or all those lives lost down on Scarif. I think we'll have something along the lines of that. It'll be a very bittersweet ending, and I know they've got this in the bag. I have 100% faith that they're going to nail this season. One thing I want to mention as well is that this is a very mature show, so if it's not very kid friendly, especially with some of the themes it has. And there is also a scene in the last, so the third episode at the last,
last part of
towards
the
like,
chapter.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it deals with some very horrible things. Briefly,
sexual assault in some,
yeah,
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 and
and
never thought I'd see that in Star Wars ever, but
no,
they want to show you the dirty, real side of the Star Wars universe, and I think that's what they said Andor were going to be. It's going to be the underbelly, the real world, the stuff you won't see on the movies, the big bright hopeful movies. It is the dirt and the disgusting parts that happen.
yeah, you don't really get to see that sort of thing unless it's like, books, comics that delve into this stuff. And I'm glad that we have live action adaptation, visually being able to see it and hear it and feel it as you're watching it and watching these characters go through this universe. It's not a nice place to be. I know there's like a joke of, oh, if you were in the Star Wars universe, would you be Jedi? Would you be Sith, bounty hunter, all this stuff? And it's like, I'd probably be a fucking farmer just trying to do my own thing and stay
Yeah,
alive at that point. So yeah, Andor for these 3 episodes, anyways, have not disappointed. Again, it is a very slow show. You do need to see the first season, of course, because this will be the only one we're
yeah,
getting. But yeah, I love one other thing I want to mention is it does have quite I feel like it builds more on that contained story and it's keeping that going. Whereas, like, yeah, the whole season, 2 seasons are like an overarching story, but you have these like smaller segments, these episodes where it's like, this is happening. Andor's, say, for example, in the first season, Andor's stuck in that prison, and the whole episode is just about getting out, and you meet all these great characters. And then, of course, with season two, he's stuck on basically a drop off point for
that
the
that
TIE
was
fighter.
such that
Yeah.
was so brilliant. I
Yeah.
loved the opening with the TIE fighter, him getting it out of there, and then yeah, just being stuck with all them people. Was that Yavin 4?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I thought it was.
One other thing I want to mention, I've not looked into this, but I'm going to say I'm fairly confident. The TIE fighter that Andor stole was obviously a prototype. Um, I don't recall seeing anything similar other than the TIE interceptors in the original trilogy and a little bit after that.
I tell
I
you what I think it looked like.
Go on.
Are we both going to say the same thing here?
We're gonna say the same thing.
Kylo Ren's TIE silencer.
Potentially,
Yeah,
yeah. I think that's what it could be, or a very early version
version of
of
it,
it. Yeah.
an Empire
Um,
version of it. Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, no, this episode visually fantastic. It does a great job of selling it to you as well. You can tell a lot of these places were shot on location. The Tie Fighter stuff at the beginning felt very didn't feel smooth or
I love that he couldn't fly it.
yeah, he was just
Yeah,
struggling. He was bouncing into the walls and stuff. It was very realistic
but
and
then
very well done.
but then later on as well, he's like, "Do you realize? Do any of you guys realize that that's not the ship? You know, I wasn't trained to fly that one. So they'd obviously been training him in a sim or something like that. And then he's gone into that one. And you see when he first goes into it, he's like, "The fuck is this?"
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it went straight into it though with the first episode. I think that was a good job of getting people hooked in again. And then it just brings it down to a slow. You got the whole wedding. Mon Mothra. Oh, the
just drinking her
stuff.
problems away.
Yeah,
Again with
she's.
these
I think. I
more
think.
mature themes.
Yeah, I think with that scene as well, it's more a case of I've pretty much lost everything now. I've lost
Yeah,
everything to build this rebellion and do the good thing. I've sacrificed everything, so it's like fuck it. I'm just gonna I'm gonna enjoy myself one last time, kind of thing. That's what it felt like. I'm gonna enjoy myself one last
yeah,
time, get absolutely shit faced, go dance, go party, and then it's just back to it. Um,
yeah.
and that character has grown on me so much, and I'm it's yeah
From such a
every
minor
character.
character in the original trilogy to then, this woman being brought in to play a younger version in what was it, Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith, and then they never used her scenes. It was always deleted scenes, and then they brought her back for Rogue One, and then they'll just give her this massive extended role in Andor, and it's great.
It's brilliant. Very well acted. The character is very very well written, very thought out. Has major purpose within the story. Gets you in the feels, man. Because like when it comes to Andor stuff, you kind of had it in season one, but in this it feels like Mon Mothra is going to be the heart of this. In a way, she's you're seeing her sort of essentially break down, which is
Yeah.
sad, but she's being strong about it, and just yeah, I'm excited to see more of her.
One last question, Kyle. So Andor season one, give us our first Star Wars shit. Do you think Andor season two will give us our first Star Wars fuck? Yes or no?
I don't know.
It's not necessary. It's not necessary, and it don't really matter. But
I don't know. I mean,
I think
it's
we might, and I think it might be K2SO.
there's potential for that to pop up. I mean, it wouldn't be out of place in a sense, especially within this show's perspective, shall we say?
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, I mean, it could happen.
do you know what I'd love to see? You know Cassian's little droid, that little red one.
Yeah.
So we know K2SO got reprogrammed. I would love to see it be the programming from that little droid being put into the security unit. I feel like that'd
Ah,
just be pretty fucking cool.
I mean, yeah, they did it with Han Solo's ship, didn't they? In
Yeah,
uh, that not so great Star Wars film,
I don't mind
which you
Solo.
like. Yeah,
I don't mind it.
I'm not a fan, but
It's not great,
that's
but it's not. I
not
don't think
great.
it's terrible.
Yeah,
I like
but
I like Ansel Elgort.
yeah, no, there was good parts and there was good elements to it, but it was just overall just didn't have it for me. But overall though, when it comes to Andor, I fucking loved it. I'm glad we're getting this 3 episode a week. We do. I think we were gonna have this as a topic potentially.
Yeah.
So we may have that next time whenever we're filming because we've got all. Will it be Friday?
When we next film, I think we're gonna go see The Accountant 2 on Friday.
Ah, yeah,
But I'm not working the next day, so it depends what time we get back. I don't think it's a long film, so we might be able to get something in.
potentially, yeah. If not, we'll say that for another time. It's something interesting. But yeah, what did you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Is this the direction that Star Wars should go in? Should it just
Yes.
stick to being into the TV stuff, or are you more confident with their announcements in the films that they're doing now? Do you? Yeah, is this? Did this bring you back into the Star Wars groove a little bit? Not all the way, but a little bit.
Yeah, me. I'm remembering things like Tie Silencer. I never thought I'd remember that.
Making the sequels good again. Well, good again. Making the sequels more bearable.
Yeah, no, definitely. Anyway, what's our next topic, Kyle?
Wait. Do you think because they've explained, not explained, but they've shown how the TIE silencer was developed and blah blah blah, maybe whatever, and that's why it was such a powerful ship in the film. Do you think they'll ever explain how Palpatine returned?
Um, no, but I would love to see a story on how Kylo Ren was developed.
Well, they've got comics for that.
Like right after the Battle of Endor, just Han and Leia just get to some developing.
Okay, right, yeah. Bye.